Welcome to the show about literacy, Governor Palin.
Thanks, Larry. I have a lot of opinions about literacy.
Oh really? And what would you consider a literate person?
Someone who can read books and talk about them.
So you wouldn't consider being able to work the internet a kind of literacy?
No, in fact, Larry, I would think that today's youth are less literate than they were in my time.
You obviously have no idea what you are talking about. Being literate includes everything from reading street signs to texting.
I don't buy it. You have no proof. Literacy is being able to read books, like me.
Well, according to James G., there's also a digital literacy. He wrote a whole book on video games shaping a classroom. Unfortunately, you obviously don't understand scholars.
I will look into the book while I'm looking for Russia in my backyard.
Having computers in every classroom could be a good way to get children ready for the future.
Yes, but the government is already spending too much money, and so we should not have to pay to put computers in the classroom.
Maybe eventually computers will get donated to the classrooms.
That would be a good compromise.
Did you also know that reading signs or mixing music could be considered a part of literacy?
I guess that would make sense if video games also count as literacy.
So what do you think is the best way to teach children how to read?
Well, I think phonics-based teaching is the best way to teach kids to read. They need to be able to identify the different syllables within each word.
Really? Because I have heard whole language learning is better suited for certain students.
I have no idea what that is, Larry. Enlighten me.
Whole language teaching is based on giving a child a whole book to read and learn out of instead of a worksheet teaching syllables and breaking words down.
Sounds complicated.
It isn't really, since you learn how to speak whole words instead of sounding them out. Scholars believe the same rules apply for reading. Eventually a child will retain words and letter sounds and will be able to break the word down by themselves later.
Oh, I see. Well, maybe a mixture of both would be a good idea.
That is what many scholars believe as well. You are catching on. I have learned that we have something in common, Governor Palin. We both enjoy reading.
Yes, reading is one of my favorite pastimes, and I do believe it is important for literacy to be a well-taught subject in schools.
I agree. Whether people believe in the same things does not matter when it comes to literacy being an important part of the human life. On the note, what do you like to read?
Oh, I read to check up on the gossip and to learn what people are saying about me. Or to read my hunting magazines. Why do you read?
Interesting. I read to relax, learn about my future guests, explore and imagine new things.
I also read to imagine new places, but I also travel to explore things.
Interesting concept. I am fairly old now, though. This was a very interesting conversation. Thank you for coming.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I have to get going now, so I can go hunting.
Well, that would be a whole different episode. So good night, America.